You blink an eye and it's done. Uranus's roof, and roofers are these roofers. A neighbor saw something, I think, and they're working with the police. There were some people in disguise. I think we're going to be hearing something by Tuesday. This is not good for the perps. They're just in complete shock. Keep your eyes out. Hello and welcome. I'm Astrologer Val Evans. Thanks for joining me today. We are talking again about Nancy Guthrie. So much has happened in the past few days, and we are monitoring the charts and also reviewing the cards to see what kind of clues we can come up with. We've also looked at what's going to happen ahead this week, slightly, just a few days. We looked at that a couple of days ago. We are going to look at the next few days, and I've got another show tonight, so hopefully you can join me. This show will be available for members only. Thank you, XMing8. Let's see what else. Marib's here. Thank you, Marib. And we talk about Aquarius really quickly. Oh, this is an Aquarius case. We are seeing things that have to do with a lot of tech, facial recognition. I'm going to go into that in a second, but generally this is what Aquarius represents. We're seeing the word break. We're seeing breakups. We're seeing changes. That's all Aquarius. Now we're seeing helicopters come in on the scene to see if they can use certain technology to try to track Nancy Guthrie, who was abducted February 1st, 2026, by using tracking on her pacemaker, if that's possible. So we're going to see if that is going to work. We've seen even Northwest, which is pointing towards the 11th house. The 11th house represents Aquarius. So pilots, altitude, things that are high up, can also represent people who are very, very nervous or have a nervous system issue in medical astrology. We're going to see numbers like day 11. This is not the guy, this is AI, but we were talking about this man behind the mask, and I don't think that this very talented artist got exactly, of course she's not going to, the picture of who it is who walked up to Nancy Guthrie's camera and disabled it. I think that this man has light eyes, but it's possible he could be Italian or even looks Persian to me. He's got a Roman nose, so that I think the nose is off in that picture, that sketch that we're seeing. So, but definitely there's going to be like a trim beard behind it. Someone here mentioned that possibly it could be a healthcare worker, and we certainly have Pisces. We have a recent crime, the Tepes, and the person who's been accused of murder is the ex who was a doctor. So we might be able to look at the crime chart and possibly see some healthcare references. We're going to look at names for a second, Aquarius names. It's so interesting to see some of the names that are coming out in a crime that has so much Aquarius energy. Sparks is a typical one. Gale, like a gale of wind. Guthrie is a Scottish name for windy place. So Aquarius represents wind. We're going to see wind as a theme in this chart. It was windy on the day that Nancy was dropped off by her son-in-law. It's also windy for the press when they're trying to cover this case. Amber represents an electron. And Barack Obama, he is Aquarius rising. We've got Watts. We've got, believe it or not, Carlo or Carlos, which I think is the name of somebody who was pulled over, possibly connection with this case, but I think they decided that it was a bad lead. Silverstone, silver and gray represent Aquarius. Vento means Italian for wind. And why do we care about these names? Because they could be clues about the person's name that is involved, or maybe a street name, maybe a place of some sort. Nanos is also representative of Aquarius, nanotechnology. Did you think about that? Hawk, Calum, and interesting Aaliyah, which represents high up, and she is associated with a plane, which is how she died, plane crash. Guthrie obviously is very Aquarian. We're going to see things that have to do with GPS, satellites, tracking. DNA represents Aquarius. The roof, like I said, windy conditions. the silver color, people who are very tall, like Savannah. There are changes of investigation where people get fired or they quit. Maybe the course of the investigation isn't going the way that the victim's family wants it to. So they change as far as investigators, or they want to anyway. Keep in mind that the twin engine planes that could have been used to possibly track Nancy, they were all grounded at the time and they were not able to be used. So helicopters were used instead that first night. We're going to be talking more about tech, the facial recognition, the tracking the pacemaker, really new things. And then, of course, Bitcoin to break. Also, we're going to see break. Somebody's going to break a camera, breaking news. We're going to see all of that. If you'd like to see the birth chart, I look at the birth chart and the solar return chart for Nancy's son-in-law. So go to the Greedy Female in Disguise, and who I saw in the son-in-law's chart. You can see that. That's Tommaso's chart. Did a good job with the eyes, I think, but I feel like there's more of a Roman nose. It's higher up top. Maybe it's more pointy. So that's just my thought. I think somebody's going to recognize him by his Aquarius eyes. Maybe somebody who works with him. And we were talking in the last show about Ozark, how Ozark is the name of the backpack, which is also the name of a very popular Netflix show about drugs and a drug family. Forensic astrology lessons, if you're interested, go to astrologywithval.as.me. And after each lesson, I give you a quiz. And at the end, you certainly know how to work your way around the crime chart. And there's a lot that I teach in these lessons that you don't get anywhere else, even on my channel. This is February 8th, 2026, 147. This is what I pulled for the crime chart. And this was last week's predictive chart. And so look at all of that Aquarius there. And so interesting how you could see that there is a T-square here. And that shows that technology does not work, that it is changed. And I'm going to show you tonight, I'm going to show you this chart against another chart in which technology was not working for the police. And it's pretty wild. It's possible. We've already seen it with the planes that they couldn't use that, but it seems as if their tech is just slightly off. And it would make sense now that we're in Mercury shade. They really have to, if they're going to use one technological tool, they're going to have a backup just to make sure. They can't rely on one thing because it looks like things are just slightly off. At least that was last week. So we're going to take a look at this next week. I've been wondering if these perps have continued to go to work. Yeah, Mercury is listening, even smelling. So yeah, that's such a great point, because Mercury would be to not only to hear, and to your point with no technology, they're not able to hear something that they want to hear, meaning the police, law enforcement, but could also represent what somebody smells, and something smells off. So we'll have to think about what that is. Pluto is trash. So it could be something, it could be a recycling place. Is there a place near Nancy where you can smell the recycling? That could be a clue, I think. Yeah. Taurus, I wanted to ask about the signal sniffer, the sniffer part. Where would that show in the chart? Yeah, perfect. Mercury would be the sniffer. Yeah, maybe drainage. Hello, Jan. So glad you could join us. And she's in Nanos. And yeah, we were looking at workers. And I'm going to show you that in the chart too. And for those of you just joining us and not knowing anything about astrology and crime, it is an ancient practice, and we're just kind of modernizing it a little bit. Deborah, I think the mustache goatee could be part of his disguise. Possibly. He looks maybe Romany. Yeah. He does. He kind of reminds me of Reza from Shah's The Sunset a little bit, but with the light eyes, that's the giveaway. And because we've gotten that Italian clue, it makes me think that he could be Italian. He could be Italian. Thank you, Empress Tia. Nice to see you. And your membership helps the channel so much. I really appreciate it. Sweetly Morbid Bear, haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. Giant Golden Sun, yes, 15 days. Amber, it's cloudy over there. Yeah, the weather's a little weird now. It's been windy here in Texas. Do the charts show if she will be found? The charts show everything. We just have to read it correctly. Pauline, nice to see you. Looking forward to see what the charts show. Yes, Pauline, I think there's some good things here for Nancy. I have a time limit today, so I'm going to come back again tonight. So we're going to look at clues a little bit further. May Taurus is here. Crafts and Crime. And no, you're never late. You're never late. Star Sleuth's here. Welcome, Star Sleuth. And Star Sleuth has a wonderful tarot deck for crime. It's called Tarot Noir. So you can go to BD Salerno and you can order them straight from her. So great clues we got with the tarot cards the other night. Angela's here. They could be, the eye color could be fake with color contacts. Possibly, but my gut says no. Yes, Shauna, you do. Does it show contact lenses? It could. Basically, that is something about eyes, but it shows that there are people who don't see very well. And because when you have those poor aspects to Aquarius, you're looking at people who can't see very well, or we could be hearing about somebody blind or someone blindfold. Oh, wow, it was snowing yesterday in Wales. Yeah, crazy weather right now. Taurus, does the Mercury retrograde shade period have some impact on their investigation? I bet it will be a mess. You are 100% correct. Think about Karen Reed. That was Mercury retrograde. It was a big storm. It really screwed up that investigation, and it just went on and on and on. O.J. Simpson, another one where everybody gets the DNA mixed up, and then there's claims of fraud, and it is just a big mess. It is, they have to try to solve this in the next couple of days, or it's going to be getting worse and worse. Thank you, Shauna. JR's here. And yeah. Okay. Eleanor, we do too. I hope she's okay. We just have to pray. I get caught up in this. My mom's name is Nancy, so it's definitely something I can relate to. All right, so let's look at last week's predictive chart real quick. So much wind. We were getting a lot of wind, a lot of bad signals. There were mistakes. There were a lot of mistakes. So what will this week look like? We're going to have to look at that. But there's also something else that I wanted to show you. And this is really the theme of this show. This is the crime chart. And so now what I want you to see is what's in here. Well, third house are local people. They are neighbors. They are very smart neighbors, obviously. They have beautiful homes, and maybe they're tech people. Maybe there's some tech giants that live out there, which would be Aquarius. Third house is representative of what is outside of your home. And this IC, that's the door. So this looks like a lot of people out here. Planets are people in crime charts. And Mars represents the police. So check that out. And so interesting that Pluto represents Nancy. So wouldn't it make sense that Nancy is near the police? She could be very well close to a police station. Also, Aquarius represents a satellite. So maybe a satellite office. I don't know, but that's pretty close. And so I'm going to do some cards about that. But it seems we're going to do some mapping tonight. There is the police station, there's a river, and there is an airfield, all within a couple of miles of each other north of Nancy. So, so let's see what I get here. Is Nancy close to a police station, or it's like she's right under their nose? It's so close. It's within 4 degrees, which could be 4 miles or less. Is Nancy near the police right now? There we go. Looks like yes. And there's a 6 there. Maybe this means 6 of Pentacles. Maybe that means where there's an exchange of money somewhere. These are coins. Obviously, this is a Bitcoin place. Could it be near? Is there a place where there's Bitcoin? This is all about Bitcoin. This is a place where there are a lot of pilots, a lot of planes. Whoa. Of course, I got the High Priestess, which we've been looking at. So there is a female involved, a powerful female. I don't know how powerful she is, but she wants to be powerful. And this to me shows that she's so close. She's so close. And I think that she can escape if she wants. There's somebody helping her. How do we know that in the crime chart? And there she is next to the police. Mars is police in any crime chart. It's interesting how the sun is right there. The sun is the co-ruler of the perp. So it's almost like the police are in the middle of the perp and Nancy. It's like they pull up to one house, but she's at the other house. Are we talking about some kind of mistake here with finding Nancy? Is there, it's like lost in translation. It's some kind of mistake in the data or the GPS. This would be a GPS thing. Got the cards. So this one, I don't know if it's got 9 of Swords, but I'm not sure if it's upside down or not. It's reversed. Are the police like, let me try to think. Is this a mistake? Is this a mistake that we're seeing right in front of us looking at the crime chart that the police are making? The moon. So it seems like yes. And the moon could be possibly the home or the illumination. The moon also might give us some kind of indicator as to maybe the next full moon. We're going to see something. Hopefully we're not going to have to wait too long, but yeah, it could be a full moon. That could be some kind of timing there. Does the sheriff know who has Nancy, and is he withholding info? There's politics in this chart. You can see that the sun is also Trump, and Mars is the police. So there's a lot of competition there. It's poorly aspected. You see those red lines? Oh, they are not sharing. And there could be a very good reason for that. Yeah, maybe a bank or some credit union for pilots. That's a great clue, I think. Lots of wind here in Florida. Yeah, you're seeing the Aquarius. Yeah, Shauna has great intuition. Lucy Morningstar, Uranus conjunct the 7th house at Algol. Yeah, which can mean the voice, can mean trying to say something. I did not know that. Are you serious? Pilot flight attendant credit union called Wings. That's perfect, Jen. You're saying Bitcoin's better than money. Data centers. There's an Air Force base in South Tucson close to where they think she was taken. Who this person is, there's somebody that could help. It could be somebody who recognizes the perp or who helps Nancy. This is someone who's helping. It could be a healthcare worker. It could be, we've got Saturn and Neptune. There's plenty of combinations there that we could come up with. But Neptune is a window. And Saturn is an old, next to Neptune, window. So there is a possibility there could be some kind of glass, sliding glass door, window. We're talking about glass here. And there's a possibility somebody even might see her. In fact, look at this. Uranus is the tech. I wonder if there is some kind of technology. Is it possible? I keep thinking about Nancy being in a basement. But this is tech. They can find her using technology. Can they spot Nancy through a window? I know that's kind of crazy, but the technology, there's something there. It's also an old body of water too. Is there something wastewater or like a dump? It's like smelling, you can smell trash, I think. Maybe children, children who don't have resources, something like that. That's also a stoplight too. Maybe we're going to see another clue about the stoplight. Wings Credit Union in Tucson, 7970. Thornydale. Okay. Will they find her? Will the police find her using technology? Right now, it looks like no. I got 2 of Pentacles again. There's a possibility. There's a possibility there. We're going to look at the future of this case over the next 5 days tonight. It's right. It's called a pacemaker sniffer. Is that what it's called? And then, of course, we were talking a lot about bells, which is another clue. And cowbell is a word for trapping someone in Bitcoin. So who knew? Who knew that was going to be the case? So I will see you all tonight. We'll do some mapping, get some more clues. And thank you to all members. You'll be able to see this after the show. So talk to you tonight.